In the heart of Yemen's eastern desert, where the sands reside and the winds whisper ancient secrets, there lies a cave long spoken of as the Gate of Hell. But today, we are not here to talk about myth. This is a true story that actually happened. The story of a university student, cultured, logical, who entered the cave on a scientific mission and never came out again. So what happened to the Yemeni engineer inside Barhout Well? Did he fall? Did he vanish? Or is there something beyond rational explanation? Get ready, because this story is unlike any other. In 1997, Sami Abdul-Salam, a young geology engineer, was working as part of a scientific expedition from Sana University. He was assigned, along with a small team, to study the rare geological formations in Al-Mara Governorate in eastern Yemen, especially in the area of Faj al-Kashan, where there is a massive, deep cave locally known as Barhout Cave. Sami was passionate about geology and rare natural phenomena. Unlike his colleagues, he wasn't influenced by talk of curses or evil spirits or legends. He believed all that to be mere superstition and was convinced that science alone could unveil nature's secrets. Upon arriving at the cave area, the team encountered unusual conditions, strong winds despite clear skies, and a strange silence that made one feel as if the earth itself was breathing. Some local residents approached the team and advised them not to get too close to Barhout's mouth, insisting that whoever got too close never came back. Sami laughed off the warnings, replying with a confident smile, "If there's something unseen, I'll be the first to discover it." The next day, the team prepared their equipment. They tied Sami with a long rope, fitted him with a helmet equipped with a camera, and he began descending into the cave. Only minutes inside the dark abyss, then the radio connection was cut. The camera stopped transmitting signals. No sound was heard from him. At first, the team thought it was a technical failure, but when they tried pulling the rope, they felt a sudden weight, then lightness, as if something had cut it or devoured it. Panic spread. One team member, a young man named Yasser, swore he heard Sami's voice calling his name from the cave's depths, but the sound seemed as if it was coming from underwater, distorted and strange. The local authorities were contacted, and search operations began and lasted for days, but to no avail. The ropes lowered wouldn't reach the bottom, and every attempt at a descent was stopped due to an inexplicable panic that would overcome the rescuers. One of the divers brought in from outside the governorate suddenly screamed while preparing his gear. "I hear a voice calling me from inside. It sounds like my mother." The team withdrew. The investigation was closed without an official statement. Sami Abdul-Salam's name disappeared from public records. But the story didn't end there. 3 years later, in 2000, a local journalist named Marwan al-Salmi visited the area. He was preparing a report on South Arabian legends, and the cave's story attracted him. During his research, he met a man in his 50s from Al-Mara who claimed he had seen a man in white clothing coming out of the cave's mouth at dawn and disappearing into the sands. The man said something strange that the journalist couldn't ignore. He said, "I'm sure it was the same young man who went down in 1997. His face hadn't changed, only his eyes. They were pale as if they couldn't see the world." This statement stirred a storm of questions. Sami's file was briefly reopened, then closed again after it was found that the man suffered from memory disorder. But the locals kept confirming sightings of shadows near the cave at sunset. Some said they heard the name Sami whispered in the winds, while others swore they saw a small tent being set up and removed suddenly hundreds of meters from the site. The most chilling account came from an amateur explorer in 2017, a young Saudi man identified as AK who published a blog post saying, "I approached Barhout Cave with my friend and we were joking and filming a clip. Suddenly, the camera stopped and one word appeared on the screen, Sami." This post spread quickly, but no one was able to verify it. In 2021, a drone equipped with a thermal camera was sent to film the cave's interior in a scientifically documented attempt for the first time. The result? Nothing visible, only a low humming sound and unexplained heat transfer in an area where nothing has changed for thousands of years. The scientists returned empty-handed, and the story faded from the media again. But in the memory of Yemenis, the story of engineer Sami Abdul-Salam remains one of the South's most complex mysteries, a riddle with no explanation to this day. In conclusion, perhaps Sami was an adventurous scientific researcher, and perhaps there was something else waiting for him in the depths. Maybe he fell, or got lost, or entered another dimension we cannot comprehend. But what's certain is that his story is still alive. And when the winds blow over Barhout Cave at sunset, there is always someone who swears they hear a name being called. Sami.